Yep.
All right, so all your controls are going to be here on the right side. Your parking brake is in your handles. So that releases the parking brake. So to crank it up, both your handles have to be all the way out.
Okay.
So once your handles are out, this is your engine throttle. I like the engine throttle to be about half throttle. This is your choke. You're gonna lift up on the choke, turn the key, and then fire up. I just ran this one so it don't need a choke. Cutting it off, always slow it all the way down before you cut it off.
When I'm cutting, do I want to push it all the way up here?
Yep, so
Okay.
when you go to engage the blades, you're gonna go to full throttle, lift that up, and that's
Okay.
gonna engage blades, and away you go. And then
Okay.
just cut it, push it down and cut it off. You know, and you don't have to run it wide open when you're just getting from point A to point B, but about half to 3/4 throttle is good for just driving around. Again, cutting it all the way off, slow it all the way down, then turn your key. The lights on it are controlled by your key switch.
Okay.
So you have two on positions on your key switch. When you crank the lawnmower up, that's where it's going to come to there. You come back one notch, that's engine running with lights on and then all the way off. So if you're, you know, if you just need to use the lights at night for some reason, that's the lights are on. So you make sure you don't leave it there because it'll run your battery down.
I got you.
I'm going to hop up in here. Your height of cut is right here. So just press on the pedal and that takes the pressure where you can pull your pin and then set it at whatever height you need, and then it backs down onto the pin. And at that point, you know, you can raise and, you know, lower your deck.
What's like a normal level here that somebody
You
would
know,
cut on?
summertime, you don't want to cut it super low because it'll burn it, but it depends on what type of grass you have.
Centipede is what I got.
Centipede, you know, it's kind of, I like my centipede kind of high. Some folks like it low. I'd probably start off at 2 3/4, somewhere in there. That's not going to be too low or too high. See if you like it there. You may want to lower it down a little bit, or you might say, hey, look, let's bump it up to 3 inches. But if you want to start right there, that'd be a good starting point. But yeah, when you come up to your lip of your driveways or stumps or whatever, just raise it up and let it right back down.
Okay.
Do have a step on this side you can step on, or just come right off the front right there. Got a viewpoint for the gas where you can see your fuel in it. This little access panel, it snaps in hard to that little rubber thing there, and so you do have to give it a little snap where it won't. But that just opens up to where you can get to the top of your cutting deck. So once you're done mowing, take your leaf blower and blow it all out. You know, if you want to put something in this tray, you can. Closing this back, if you just drop it right there, it kind of hangs up. Just kind of pull it up to you. She snaps right in there.
So you don't wash it out with water in there. You use a leaf blower.
You can after you get the grass clippings and all out.
Okay.
But if you try to blow it with water, the grass clippings just get
Clump
all
up.
soggy. So blow them out and then take the water hose, knock the dust down where to keep it pretty and red. On your handles also, you've got some adjustments. You can see these cogs in there. So if you wanted to adjust these handles forward or backwards, you just loosen those and move this part on this right here to get it kind of, you know, set wherever you want it farther back.
So that's where the brake's on when it's like this.
That's the parking brake.
Parking
set,
brake.
yeah.
So when I'm transporting it in the
That's
trailer, it needs to be like that.
Not much going on underneath the seat. Your battery right there, easy to get to when it's time to change it out down the road. This is another area right in here. You want to take your leaf blower, you know, and blow it outward, you know, trash and left that screw right there. Just keep it clean in here. Oil changing. Recommend you change the oil after about 10 to 20 hours the first go round. Then you do it the book says 100, I tell everybody 50 to 75. Usually for most customers, that's once a year.
Right.
In your owner's manual, there's a clear tube that will fit right here on this little pitcock and hang out the back.
Okay.
And this is a 10 millimeter. Just back this little screw right here all the way out, and your oil will start draining. And then obviously your oil filter right there. When you're checking your oil, you do not screw the dipstick in. So pull it out, wipe it clean, stick it down in there, and then pull it out to check it. So don't
turn
screw
it back.
it in. Yeah. Air filter, really easy to get to. Loosen that hose clamp. There we go. Grab it, just pull it out. Best way to clean it is just beat it out on your hand. Just flip it around, tap it as much as you can. When you can't see the light through it anymore, you chuck it and come get a new one.
Okay.
Or if you second guess yourself, is it dirty or clean, come get a new one. Life for your machine right here, no doubt. Just get it back in there snug and tighten down. And that snaps in. Hydraulic release on it. So hopefully you'll never have to push this thing or roll it, but if your battery was dead and you needed to move it, just bringing the arms in, she's still not going to roll because of the hydraulic pressure. That little guy right there,
Okay.
you're going to pull that back and it locks down, and there's one on the other side as well, and then you pull your arms in and then it'll roll real easy for you.
Okay. And then push them back into.
Yeah, you'll just kind of pull it back and it'll pull itself in.
Okay.
It ain't real hard, but you'll feel it. It's pretty hard to get back. So when you lift it up, it sucks itself back in there. Blade sharpening, it really depends on your yard. You know, we should really sharpen our blades about 3 times a year. You know, have them done at the first of the year, usually sometime about now, and then maybe later in the fall before you start fooling with leaves and all. But anything on this machine that you don't want to service yourself, we are more than happy to do every bit of it or guide you on however much you want to do on it as well. Fuel filter right here is another easy thing to get to. Once a year on replacing the fuel filter.
What does a full service cost with you guys?
So if we're past the 10-hour service and and you bring it in and first of the year and say, hey, look, do a service on it. The service kit for the engine, which is just a box of air filter, fuel filter, the oil filters, spark plugs, is about $90. And then we sharpen or replace the blades. We check the belts, grease the grease fittings on the front tires. If you don't have to have blades, usually you're about $200. Maybe a little less. If you have to have blades, it's going to put you over the $200 mark. That kit and this engine is wide open. It's so easy to do the engine service yourself. But again, I am happy to do every bit of it for you. But these lawnmowers have made it so the customers, the end user can do a lot of work on them instead of having to rely on the dealership to do everything. But that's pretty much it in a nutshell.
You do.